What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today I am wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2, commonly known as the Batgirl. I don't. It's one of my favorite watches, and it's definitely my favorite Rolex. I don't wear it all that much, but I did wear it out today, this morning, when I went to the grocery store and all that. So it's nice to wear it out. So that being said, appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes to my channel, and let's talk about Rolex. Rolex seem to be at it again. Every year they come out with these little teasers without saying hardly anything. More towards watches and wonders, they put out little teasers, little clips of watches, and we have to try to speculate on what it is. And all the YouTubers get on it, and they're like, well, I think it's going to be this, and they analyze the shit out of it. And some people are right, some people are wrong, you know. There's a lot of prediction videos going on right now, and a lot of renderings of what would be cool. But we all know that, that these renders come out every year. Someone does the renderings, and nothing ever comes to fruition as far as Rolex. Keep in mind, the research and development and what Rolex do are well long before watches and wonders. It's not like these renderings come out and Rolex go, let's make that. These watches have already been, probably years in advance. At least a year, I would say. So last year, Watches and Wonders, again, for those of you who don't know what Watches and Wonders it is a giant watch convention. It's a fair. It's a big, giant building with nothing but boutiques and buildings within buildings, like I stated in my Q&A. Rolex, Cartier, Patek Philippe, J.J. Lecoultre, Vacheron, no, Vacheron not there. But all these brands, right? And of course, none of the watches are for sale. It's just a big watch fair, but it's eye candy for days, and you get to see all the new releases. Some watch brands release models throughout the year, and they don't wait till Watches and Wonders, and then some just wait and hold off until Watches and Wonders. And in this case, Rolex have stated on their Instagram that February 25th, 25, in 2 days, something's coming. I don't know. They're showing a lot of sports figures. Seems to be on some tennis player, but for the most part. But we don't know, do we? And we all like to speculate. We all like to, start rumors or spread rumors. I mean, everyone seems to do it. But that being said, I would like to see, certain models and things change, but again, I'll probably be wrong too. But last year, Watches and Wonders, I felt like Cartier really stole the show with the Tortue and their releases they were doing. Cartier came out huge with just in your face watches, and Rolex didn't do anything hardly. They really didn't. They focused on some of their solid gold pieces, and the GMT Master 2, what was now called the Bruce Wayne, was about the only thing they did in steel, that was worth looking at, So I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, obviously, because it's an assumption, that Rolex are going to focus more, or have, and will release this year, more stainless steel models. I think they're going to focus more on the stainless steel models. I think they're going to do a change up in the GMT Master 2 line. Whatever they may discontinue, they may not discontinue anything. People have been saying the Pepsi is going to get discontinued for like almost 3 years now, and it hasn't happened. So you think they're going to discontinue the Sprite? Maybe. But I'd like to see different colored bezels. We can all create new nicknames for them and see what sticks. But and then as far as the OP line, it's been talked about that the Celebration is going to be gone. I mean, I've had people like a month ago tell me that, no, it's already gone. It's already discontinued. No, it's still on their website, so it's not. But, I would imagine they discontinue that because they were celebrating all the colors of the OP line. And of course, they slowly started discontinuing like that sort of mustard yellow color, the coral red, the green's still available, and the turquoise blue, the Tiffany, is available on 36 millimeter, but not 41 millimeter. So I would imagine they will discontinue the Celebration dial, but you never know. I mean, so are they going to come out with a new OP line? Who knows? What about the Datejust? What are they going to do with the Datejust? Last year they discontinued all the motif dials, which was a shame because those were beautiful. So I don't know. I'd love to see like an OP or a Datejust with a presidential bracelet, but in stainless steel, not solid gold. I know they're not going to do that, but that would be kind of cool to have basically an all stainless steel sort of presidential looking OP. think that would be cool. As far as the colorways on the dials, on the bezels for the GMT Master 2, who knows? It's been talked about for years that they're going to bring the Coke back. I don't think that's going to happen simply because Tudor came out with their own version of the Coke, and I think they're going to let Tudor handle that aspect of it. And I don't think Rolex is going to bring it back out. I don't think they're going to do anything with the Daytona line. However, they might, just because they've done quite a bit with the Daytona line over the last year or two. And they'll probably discontinue the Le Mans, and people are also talking about the Daytona two-tone with rose gold, why they've never done that before. So who knows? We'll see. As far as Yacht Masters, don't know, don't care. Not a huge Yacht Master guy, but, and then the Explorer, are they going to do anything with the Explorer line? The Explorer line's been solid. Explorer 1, Explorer 2, the polar dials and whatever, they're just solid. They're like a staple piece, Are they going to bring back the Milgauss? That's another one. I don't know. They might. I mean, they have been known to, discontinue and then sort of bring watches back. So they might do something like that. But, and then as far as like the 1908, I love that line, and I've heard people say that, oh, it's just not popular. It's just not popular. Maybe it's not, but I've actually never seen one in the wild. But I've actually never seen one at Bindi Jewelers either, but I've never asked to see one if they had one. So, but I love that watch. And if they came out with some different variations on that, because I saw some renderings that looked really cool with the stone dials, I would think that would be a big hit. That would change it up a little bit with Rolex in their dress watch line, because the Cellini line, we all know, it just wasn't working. Great watches, but they weren't popular. And people are like, you're going to start getting up into that kind of money, you're almost in Patek Philippe territory. Save a little bit more money and get a Patek or a Vacheron Constantin. That's more or less what I would do. As far as the day dates, keep in mind the price increase this year on their gold models was absolutely insane. So if you look at a day date that was like $36,000, $36,000 or $38,000, going up to $42,000, $44,000, that's a big chunk of change. Some people, like, you can say, well, I'm going to buy a Daytona at $15,100, but now it's at $15,200. You're not going to sweat it over $100. And if you are, then you shouldn't be buying the watch in the first place, right? When it comes to a watch, if, say, for instance, you've always wanted the day date, you finally saved enough money to get that watch at $36,000 or $38,000, and now it's $44,000, you're just going to walk away from it. I'm not, you might not, but that is a big chunk of change to say, hey, it jumped that much. So, excuse me. So I don't know what's going to happen with the day date, if they're going to do anything with their gold models, because they seem to do a lot of it last year at Watches and Wonders. They came out with the day dates with the stone dials, which, they looked cool, the diamonds and whatever, but just not my thing. For some reason, the day date needs to be super classy. Put some stone dials on like the 1908, the green. I don't know what, it's an emerald color, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. Not lapis. Is it lapis? But still, that being said, Rolex, I would imagine at this point, are going to be doing more and focus more on their stainless steel line. Hopefully they'll do something with the 1908. Would be really cool. Another thing is if they did the OP in, like I said, with the presidential in stainless steel bracelet, but with the ice blue, Arctic blue dial that they put on their platinum watches. That would be, I would think that would be stunning. I don't know why they have to save the Arctic blue dials just for their platinum models, but that's what they do. That's Rolex. Rolex are known for making just very subtle little changes, aren't they? They don't ever venture off too drastically, and they never really come out with new lines except for the 1908. Are they going to come out with a new model this year, like a completely new model? Who knows? It'd be kind of interesting. But then another thing is, once Rolex does come out with these changes or new models or new reference numbers or whatever that they come out with, every freaking YouTube, I'm not ragging on YouTubers. I'm just saying every YouTube channel, because we're the ones that bring you the news for the most part, right? But, come out and say, I don't like it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. No, I don't like it. What are Rolex thinking? What are Rolex thinking? And then just 6 months, 8 months down the line, they're going, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like, You can't make anybody happy, it seems, you know what I mean? And people base, their opinions on how that watch is doing. So some people could say, well, they really love the Bruce Wayne, for instance, and other people will say they hate it. Whatever, it's people's opinions. You know what I mean? It's like that's the beauty, the beautiful thing about life. We all have different opinions, and we can't all love the same thing. There's certain watches that I don't like, and if I don't like them, I don't like them. If I love them, I love them, regardless of what the general consensus is of what everyone's saying about what models are coming out, or whatever it may be. I guess it's just, the thing is I'm looking forward to it. And another thing I stated in my Q&A was I really love not only Watches and Wonders, because when I get home and I turn on the YouTube, and I want to see the morning show. It's like a freaking event, man. It's like watching the news when they have the morning show and the evening show, and when they do interview the CEOs and the presidents and the whoever else that they interview, and then they go through Watches and Wonders, and they'll go to the different booths and interview people and whatever. And I just love watching that stuff. And it was a real bummer they didn't do that last year. I was like, what happened? And that's a shame, because what is it, a cost thing? I mean, they did it the year before, but that's when watches were still super hyped. They're not as hyped as they were, say, 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing what Rolex does. I am looking forward to seeing if Cartier does anything, because last year they just fucking bombarded. They did it right. JLC, they're just jacking their prices up and not coming up with anything. You know what I mean? They're just like, I don't know what's going on with JLC, man. Zenith, of course, I want to see what Zenith are going to do. But then again, they've been releasing watches throughout the year, so they might not release anything. And they've been doing a lot of collab watches, like they just did the cover, was it called the Cover Girl with Revolution? And Revolution's cool. I like Waco. I think he's awesome. He's articulate. He's obviously educated. But they do so many collabs, and it never seems like he ever wears the watches they collab with. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I saw a video of Waco having his birthday lunch with Franck Mueller, and they did a collab with Franck Mueller, yet he was wearing a Vacheron 222 at that dinner. I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. Wear the watches that you're collabing with. That's the whole thing. It's like, but it reminds me of, in the line of work that I was in the music industry, people get free instruments and guitars, and granted, I'm one of those. I got, all my gear is free, and then you see them outside of the press or on stage, and they're playing, other instruments. I mean, it's because it's all about the money. It's all about the promotion. It's like, I actually play the guitars that are given to me. And so that's a whole different thing. But if you're going to sponsor something, or you're going to do a collab with something, be behind it and wear the product. How are other people going to buy your product if you yourself aren't wearing it? You know what I mean? I think it's great that, watches are coming out like that, but, whatever. But it's what it is. It's life, right? So in the grand scheme of things, I'm just looking forward to seeing what comes out this year. I'm super stoked. And it's February. It's getting into March. April, the Watches and Wonders is usually in March. Now it's going to be April 1st through April 7th. So just another few weeks that we have to wait to watch it, So looking forward to it, though. And again, everyone who watches all my videos, I do appreciate it. I really do. You can follow me on Instagram too, Talking Timepieces with Tony. I appreciate all of it. So, and all of you guys who comment, you're awesome. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.